flex type motion offense. We'll go over some 2-man drills, some 3-man drills, even some flex breakdown drills, and then try to put it all together in a 5-on-0 motion set so you can get a good look at how we run our flex and get some of the things that we're thinking about and also really points of emphasis. We also then want to throw in some actual game footage of Consaga players running flex against other teams. The first drill we use in our breakdown of the flex offense is we're just going to work a flex cutter off the guy on the baseline, and then we're going to work on him stepping back to the ball because we want our screeners to always look for the ball after they set the screen, and it's no different even in flex after we set the flex cut. So we'll send a cutter through, the block man will step out to set that flex screen, and then he'll open up, step back, look for the basketball after he sets the screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, and in all our drills then, we want what we call complementary motion, kind of inside-outside motion. We have one guy cutting to the basket, and we have one guy looking back for the basketball. And that way you can involve more than one person in your shooting drills. Let's make sure we set our man up for the flex cut. Make sure we step out to set the flex screen. Good. It's important to do the little things. We want to drive our man down to the baseline so we can cut over the top. Try to go shoulder to shoulder. And then there's nothing wrong with opening up the ball and stepping back like Mario just did right there. Okay, good, guys. In the next sequence of drills, we can use in both our flex breakdown and in our motion breakdown. And what we're working on here is just what we call complementary motion. With every screen, we have an inside cut and an outside cut. The first one we're going to do now is we're going to do a back cut and pop. So the screener's going to go down, and Mike's going to see he's overplayed. He's going to back cut to the basket, and then Anthony's going to pop back to the basketball. And that's the first option off our downstream. Okay, here we go. Okay, and again, we really want to emphasize getting open with our feet. Make a good fake to receive the ball. Boom, Anthony makes a good back cut. Mario steps back to the basketball and looks for it. On a good back cut, his man should have to help here. The other thing we want to really do is communicate with our hands. If it's a basket cut, we want to have our inside hand. If I'm popping out, I have my outside hand. So the passer up on top knows exactly what I'm doing. That way there's no communication problems with guys going back door and the ball flying out of bounds. Okay, and the last thing we want to make sure we do, and we're not doing a very good job of this, is we put our fist in the air and call out the person's name who we're screening for, so there's no mistaken identities out here. Okay, good, good. Couple more. Communicate with your hands now, Duke. Good. When you're popping out, ask for the basketball with your outside hand. Okay, the next sequence we want to work on is now the defensive player, he was overplaying us in that instance. Now he's going to try to go over the top of the screen with us and trail us, which a lot of teams like to do, hip pocket you and trail you on the screen. So Anthony will come around the curl, show his inside hand so the passer knows he's making a curl cut. Then Jermaine will pop out with his outside hand. We have an inside cut and an outside cut. So this is a curl with a pop.
Curl, curl.
Okay, pop back to the basketball now. Good. Good. And again, most people are going to try to bump that curl. So the man curling over the screen should take the help side with him. Then Jermaine's going to be wide open for a pop-out jump shot. Inside cut and an outside cut. Use your feet to get open, guys. Then communicate with your hands. Good, Jermaine. Good, Mario. Communicate with your hands. Inside hand, Mario. There you go. We want to make sure on all our screens we're going shoulder to shoulder. Not letting the defense slide through there. Okay, so we've covered now. If they're overplaying you on the down screen, we're going to back cut. If they want to play behind us and bump the curl and force us to curl by trailing on the screen, we curl and pop out. The next thing we want to work on is if they just play us to the inside. And in that instance, we're going to come down to set our down screen. Jermaine's going to then turn to the inside, find the defense, screen him. Anthony's going to come up, do a simple flare out to three, and then Jermaine's going to slip to the basket. One guy to the basket, one guy to the outside. Let's look at that. Still communicating with our hands, getting open with our feet. And you want to tell your players they can only guard you one way. They can either slip to the inside, they can trail you, they can overplay. And if you want to make them pay for each and every way that they try to guard you. So in this instance, we're really making that defender pay for trying to slip to the inside of the screen. And we want to make sure we come up the lane a couple steps, then flare out. Screener. Seal them to the inside. There you go. Excellent. Very good. Over the years, we've gotten numbers upon numbers of wide open three-point shots from defenders trying to slip to the inside. And again, when you're shooting the basketball, you really need to practice flaring out and getting your feet moving back towards the basket when you see that ball in the air. It's your weight coming back forward, Mario. Okay, the last one we want to look at is if they just try to play you straight up. They're not trying to slip to the inside, they're not trying to trail, they're not trying to overplay. In this instance, we're just going to have a straight pop out, and then we're going to have a slip by the screener right to the basket. So it's important that we go shoulder to shoulder. Screener's got to set his man up with a V-cut, come off with his outside hand looking for the basketball. The screener's going to slip and show his inside hand because he's got a basket cut. Okay, here we go. Okay, communicate with your hands now. If you're popping out, outside hand. If you're slipping to the basket, inside hand. Talk to each other. Good. And again, players have to understand they can only guard a down screen one certain way, and we have to make sure we make them pay for guarding it that way. And then we always want to have two options on every screen, an inside cut and an outside cut. Okay, the next drill we call flex breakdowns. We basically put our guys in 4 of the flex spots, and we're working at setting our man up, coming off the flex screen down on the baseline, and then making sure we go down and get our normal pop-out screen by head hunting, going shoulder to shoulder, and then we're going to read the screen just like we got done doing on our two-man breakdowns. We're going to have the coach, 2 coaches throwing the basketballs. They can either throw to the flex cut man, or they can throw to the screener slipping, and we're always going to throw to the man popping out on the baseline. Okay, here we go, guys. Good. Good. Still working on using our feet to get open, and then communicating with our hands on all our pop-out screens. Have that outside hand up, Mario, on the pop-out. We also like to step out and set the flex screen instead of waiting, so it gives us more spacing. And the reason we do that, to step out and set the flex screen, I'll slow these guys up for just a second, is we have so much better options if we step our screener out. So now Mike comes off the flex screen, but now when we're off the lane and halfway between the 3 and the free throw lane, Jermaine has all kinds of options. He can back cut to the basket, he can curl, he can pop out like we just worked on. If that screen begins to happen in here, okay, he's basically taken his back cut option out of the way and probably even his curl option out of the way. So that's why we always want our screening action happening somewhere halfway between the free throw lane and the three-point lane. Gives our receiver a lot more options. Okay, good. Keep using your feet to get open. Need to do a better job communicating with our hands, guys. If we're popping out, show the outside hand. Outside hand, Mario. Okay, now we can, on our down screen, we can begin to do some game time adjustments on how they're playing the down screen, like we did in our two-man drills. We can curl, we can flare, we can pop like we have been, or we can even back cut now. So you guys need to call out what you're doing and communicate with your hands, all right? If we're popping out, you got to show me an outside hand. If you're curling, show me an inside hand. If you're back cutting, show me an inside hand, okay? We'll just read. Okay, Mario flares out. Good. Okay, and you can either call out the options as a coach, or you can just let your players decide and read each other. I think it's better if you let your players read each other and they get used to communicating. Good, Jermaine. They get used to communicating to each other and also making sure they're using their hands. Okay, good. Throw to either the slip guy or the flare guy there. All right, the last option we can also do is we can touch and go. If for some reason Anthony's defender begins to slip down inside the screen, he reads that. He's just going to, what we call touch, Jermaine across, pop out. Mike then screens me. Jermaine goes all the way across. When you have guards that can really shoot it, again, I think it's a great move because guys try to cheat on that flex screen, and you can really mess them up by touch and going. We've had some great guards, Dickow and Fromm, Santangelo have always done a great job of that. Go. That's it, way to communicate. Very good. Now, if you have your 7-footers doing it, I don't know if I recommend that. But if you have a 7-footer like Mario that can shoot it out, it's a good move because those big guys don't always like to chase you out. And if they jump to the inside of the screen, it's an automatic read. Okay, now let's just read each other. Communicate to each other. Use your hands, and we're still getting open with our feet. Okay, let's look at a curl and a pop on the down screen now. Here we go. Good. Curl, excellent. Pop, good. Okay, now let's look at a back cut and a pop. So Jermaine will back cut, and Mike will pop out after the flex cut. Here we go. Flex cut and a back cut, good. Okay, now let's look at a flex cut. The man's playing Mike to the inside, so he's going to flare out, and then Mario will slip. Here we go. Good. Okay. Now we'll go just straight pop out. Here we go. Okay, now let's just read. Read whatever they do. Here we go. Good, Anthony. Way to talk to him. So you can vary it. You can have coach call it, players call it, do either way. If you want to work on a certain aspect, maybe on your flares, or maybe you're not, against a team you think you should be curling because of the way they play the screen, then you can just have your guys curl and work just specifically on that. Okay, now the last option we like to work on in our flex breakdowns is when we throw corner. So we're still in just our 4-man, okay? And what we do when we throw corner is we throw corner, we look inside to the post, and then dribble out. Mario steps to short corner, and we're going to go screen away. If I'm the last man on the screen, I hit the screen and slip to the basket. Jermaine's popping out. Okay? Now, coach is always hitting the pop-out guy. Okay? With our 5 guys out on the floor, we're doubling away. But with our 4-man breakdown drill, it's just a single away. But we always want to slip that last screen. And by dribbling out, we take a look inside to the post real quick, dribble out, see if we have any action. That's why Mario steps to short corner to open up the lane for our slip on the screen. Good, Jermaine. Good use of the hands. And again, throwing corner, your guys might throw corner for a couple reasons. They might throw corner because they can't throw the guard-to-guard pass on top. You might also throw corner because you really want to isolate your post in there, and they're playing on the high side, and it's a great angle to feed it from. The last thing, and sometimes we'll call in a timeout if people like to switch screens. We'll throw corner, and then we'll look for our slip guy after he doubles away. So you throw corner for a variety of reasons. Good. Sit. Good. Good complementary motion. The last thing we end up working with is just our 5-on-0. So we can swing the ball back and forth a couple times, and we can look at all kinds of different options there and get some continuity to it. This will also allow you to see it as we put it all in. So now we'll take one of the balls out, and we'll get in the 5 general flex spots here. And now we'll just run our flex. We can call out options that we want to do when we want to shoot the ball. Let's try to swing it 5 or 6 times. Let's make sure we step out on the baseline and get all our screening angles halfway between the 3 and the free throw lane. If you want to throw corner then, again, what it looks like when we throw corner, we're going to double away. Mario's going to step out. Jermaine's going to roll back. All right, now we're in these spots. Mike's the guard here. Anthony's the guard up top. Eric's out in the corner. We throw to Anthony. Mario cuts. Good, pop out. Now, and we still want to have a great attention to detail when we do all of our cuts and all of our screening action. I want to try to drive the man down below the level of the screen, come off Mario shoulder to shoulder. He needs then, after he sets the screen, to look back for the basketball in case his man really helps out. And then he wants to make sure as Jermaine comes down to screen for him, Mike's already went through, that he sets his man up and then he reads the screen. Okay? He might curl, he might pop, he might flare, he might even back cut. And then we just have to communicate with our hands and let our teammates know what we're doing there. So let's swing the ball 5 or 6 times and look at it. We want 4 guys outside of 3 and who's ever inside just stepping off the block to set the screen. Here we go. Everybody needs to come up as a shooter. Everybody come up as a shooter. Not a relay guy. Come up looking to shoot the ball. Good, Anthony. Good footwork. Okay, let's hold it up right there now. That's basically our skeleton type of motion. The things that we need to work on, or this group needs to work on, just watch them. Everybody needs to catch the ball as a shooter. Don't come up and catch it as a relay guy. Have your feet in the air, catch it so you're ready to shoot the basketball, and everybody's a threat to shoot the ball out past 3. All right, and then do the little things when we're coming off those screens. Set your guy up and go shoulder to shoulder. Communicate with your hands. Here we go. Okay, let's throw corner now when we get the chance. Here we go. Cut her through. Okay, throw corner. Double away. Good. Cut her through, Mario. Boom. Here we go. Screen down. Excellent. There we go. Okay, let's look to throw corner, throw back. Okay, good. Touch and go either way. Okay, now the other thing you can do when you're in this situation, you have a dominant post player like Mario. Cut through on the swing. Here we go. We swing the basketball. Now Mario's just going to play permanent post, and we can just post him up, try to enter the basketball to him from a variety of angles. We can throw corner, or we can screen down. If we screen down and hit, Anthony knows Mario's staying in, so he's just going to run a touch and go. We loosen up. We look at Mario in there. If we don't have it, we swing it again. I'm across. Touch and go. And so you're basically running like a 4-around-1 type of motion with just some flex type action to it. Okay, let's look at that. You can start Mario. Let's start him outside, and then once he gets inside, we'll just run our flex action around him. Go, go. And he can just basically post up in there for as long as he needs to, and we're just going to keep moving on the perimeter, try to erase the help. Now throw it in there to him and go to work, Mario. Good. And so if you have a post or maybe you don't like popping out, you can always run your flex-like action around him in that way. You can isolate him in there, yet the teams just can't jam you up with their help side because the perimeter players are moving and popping to different spots. Okay, another big question that people have is when teams like to switch in flex. We do a couple different things when we see switch in flex. You have a lot of different options of what you can do. What we like to do is just run kind of an open cutting game. Okay, we swing the ball. Mario steps out to set the screen. Now, our normal motion is, go ahead, our normal motion is down screen, but in this instance, Mike's going to sprint to the corner, and Mario's just going to sprint to the top. So there is no screen, so they can't switch. So when the ball is in Jermaine's, we swing it to Jermaine. Jermaine has the bat. Hang on here, guys. Jermaine's got the ball. Mike sprints to here. You pop up hard looking for the ball. Cut her through to Mario. Jermaine sprints to the corner. Eric fills up hard. Cut her through. Sprint to the corner. Pop up hard. Now, this is where we really have to be very fundamentally sound. And someone like Anthony with great feet, we're going to use our outside hand anytime we pop out. If they begin to overplay this, we have a total open lane here, and this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the back cut on overplay. So Anthony brings me up the lane, inside hand, boom. Passer never sees the outside hand, so he's able to just back cut. And that's how we score out of this when teams look to switch the downscreen. Okay? So let's run this. We're just going to, as we throw across, we sprint to the corner, inside man pops up. All right? We have to make sure our outside hand is up on a pop out and an inside hand on a back cut. Okay, cut hard, cut hard, cut hard. Cut hard, cut hard, cut hard. Boom. Outside hand. Outside hand. Let's run through it 4 or 5 times. Use your outside hand on the pop out. Mario, get your outside hand out. Good. Good. So it's more of just a passing and moving. That way, even though it's flex-like action, it really bothers the switching because there's really no screens to switch. It's also great if you want to open it up and run some clock if you're trying to run it down. Let's get Anthony on a back cut now. Okay, pass fake sends him back door. Okay, that's basically our flex breakdowns and then our flex type action as a group, 5-on-0. The big keys are using your feet to get open. What we mean by that is getting your feet ready to make V cuts, coming off those screens shoulder to shoulder, and we've got to communicate with our hands. When we're popping out, we use our outside hand. When we're curling or back cutting, we use our inside hand. That way, when we're playing in arenas where there's 10,000 screaming fans, we know as teammates what each and every one of us are doing off those screens.
The flex motion offense is run out of the basic 2-3 set with a ball on the strong side at the guard position or a strong side corner position and a post on the strong side, as well as the weak side guard and forward. The basic flex motion is initiated by a guard-to-guard pass, which results in a baseline flex cut and a screen down pop cut on the former strong side. We'll show you some of these options in game competition. In this set, you see a basic entry to set up the 2-3 flex and just a scoring option off the entry. Here you see the 2-3 set after an entry. The strong side guard-to-guard pass on the weak side, baseline flex cut for the score. Here we see a corner pass. Now we have the strong side getting into the 2-3 set. Now we have the guard-to-guard pass and the baseline flex cut for the score again. This is after a fast break opportunity. We get into the 2-3 set immediately, and baseline flex cut and the pop cut. Flex cut and a weak side skip pass. There's a flex cut and a pop cut and a flare from that on the overplay. Getting into the 2-3 set, there's a flex cut, a pop cut, another flex cut for the score. Getting into the 2-3 set, flex cut, pop cut, overplay, and a corner pass for the score. Getting into the 2-3 set, initiating the guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut for the score. Overplay rescreen, guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut, penetration move, flex cut, corner pass looking at the post, and reset. Getting into the 2-3 set, in the corner feeding the post for a score from the post. Oftentimes the post is fed from the corner pass. Two-three set, guard to guard, flex cut, pop cut, flex cut, individual move. Because of the 5-man motion, there are possibilities for individual penetration on individual plays. Corner pass for post and sag results in the outside shot. Original set, 2-3 set, guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut for a 3-point field goal. Getting into the 2-3 set, guard-to-guard pass for a 3-point field goal. Getting into the set, guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut, post pass off the baseline, flex cut. Two-three set, flex cut for the shot. Guard-to-guard pass, getting into the 5 spots, guard-to-guard pass, pop cut, and the flare on the push cut with the overplay. Guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut, flex cut, pop cut, and a flare again for the 3-point field goal. Guard-to-guard pass, flex cut for a score. Guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut, dribble over, now flex cut, pop cut, another flex cut, pop cut, flex cut, pop cut, and again a weak side skip pass for a score. Some individual play, penetration move. Flex cut and again, outside shot on the guard-to-guard pass. An overplay on the guard-to-guard pass for the lob at the basket. Here's the entry, guard to guard, flex cut, pop cut for an outside shot. An entry, flex cut, pop cut, flex cut, another flex cut, pop cut for the outside three-point field goal. Notice the footwork. They come up ready to shoot. Corner pass, back out in front, guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut, and again a flex cut score. Guard-to-guard pass, flex cut, pop cut, flex cut, pop cut, penetration, and a pitch for the score. Two-on-two play or individual opportunities. Guard to guard. Some individual opportunities screening on the ball, pass to corner, and scoring off a post play. Flex cut, and a flare on the weak side. A flare on the weak side post, feed for the score. Guard to guard, flex cut, pop cut for an individual play, and individual cut for the score. So there can be a lot of individual plays within the flex motion offense. There's a flare cut, individual drive, a pitch to a teammate, guard to guard, flex cut, pop cut, flex cut, pop cut, and a flare, individual drive, and to score from the corner.
I hope these drills will help you if you're interested in running flex with your offense. Again, some of the big key points are to get great spacing on the floor, to make sure you have complementary action on your screens with inside cuts and outside cuts. And a big thing for us is we really try to emphasize using our feet to get open and communicating with our hands. Hopefully this tape will help you and your team to prepare for your upcoming season.